How many times have we heard the phrase, "don't judge"? Judgments often carry a negative connotation in everyday language, almost as if they are an action to be avoided at all costs. But is it truly possible to live without making judgments? The answer lies deeper in our biology and psychology than we often realize. Judging is as natural as breathing, but how we judge, why we do it, and what we do with those judgments can make a crucial difference in our lives. What are judgments? At their core, judgments are psychological tools that allow us to categorize and evaluate the world around us. From an evolutionary perspective, they have been essential for our survival. Imagine a primitive human observing a bush with fruit. Judging whether those fruits were safe or dangerous could mean the difference between life and death. This mechanism hasn't disappeared, it has simply become more sophisticated. Carl Gustav Jung observed, "Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves." This insight invites us to see judgments not as inherently bad, but as mirrors reflecting our own emotions, values, and beliefs. Judgments with or without emotional weight. Not all judgments are created equal. Some are neutral. We classify objects, people, or experiences without emotional charge. For example, saying that the sky is cloudy is a judgment, but it lacks emotional weight. On the other hand, judgments loaded with negative emotions, like criticizing someone for how they dress or act, often create both internal and external conflict. The key lies in recognizing that it's not the judgment itself that causes issues, but the emotion or intention behind it. Is it an observation that helps us understand the world, or is it a critique reflecting our own insecurities? Internal judgment versus the need to share it. Here lies an important distinction. We all have judgments, but sharing them is not always necessary. Our evolved communication skills allow us to verbalize thoughts, but that doesn't mean every judgment should become a public critique. When we share judgments with destructive intent, we fall into what Matthias de Stefano describes as the projection of judgment, where we use our perceptions to control or devalue others. Conversely, a judgment born of introspection can be a powerful tool for growth and learning. Are judgments bad or necessary? The reality is that judgments are neither good nor bad, they are inevitable and necessary. What matters is how we use them. From a psychological standpoint, the ability to judge is essential for adapting to our environment. However, when judgments are used to harm or perpetuate stereotypes, they lose their evolutionary value and become a barrier to empathy and understanding. How to transform judgments into tools for growth. Practice self-awareness. Before making a judgment, reflect on its origin. Does it stem from personal insecurity or a genuine need to understand? Ask questions instead of drawing conclusions. Instead of saying that person is, try asking, what experiences might have led that person to be this way? Give judgments a constructive purpose. If you decide to share a judgment, do so to build rather than destroy. For example, offer a perspective that could be helpful or thought-provoking. Embrace diversity. Recognize that your perspective isn't the only valid one. Every person lives within their unique system of values and beliefs. Judging is not the enemy, it is an intrinsic part of our biology and psychology that, when used wisely, can help us grow, understand ourselves, and connect with others. As Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space lies our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. The next time you find yourself making a judgment, remember that you have the power to transform it. Instead of turning it into a critique of others, use it to question, grow, and connect. After all, judgments are not something to fear or avoid, but a reflection of our humanity that, with mindfulness, can lead us to become the best versions of ourselves.